Going live now?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, well, hey everybody, welcome to Bar Citizen Twitch channel. This is our first official podcast with Porter, who is our Orlando organizer, Bruce Mash, who is the Oregon, Portland Northwest organizer. Logan Space Gainey is our Austin Bar Citizen organizer, and barcitizen.sc is the official Bar Citizen page where you can find the interactive map of existing and past and future Bar Citizens, links to the Bar Citizen Discord, um, other Discord links around the country. We've got Bar Citizens starting up all over the world. Many have been going for quite a while, and the movement is growing. CIG is pretty much behind it. It was actually pretty exciting to see the newsletter coming out Friday with the events and the highlight of Berlin. So we're just kind of wanting to start up a monthly podcast talking about previous and future Bar Citizen events, the coolness that happens at them, the big stuff that's coming up, and how people can do their own Bar Citizens. So recent Bar Citizen events that we've had. Porter, you want to link the newsletter there?
Yep, 1 second.
So they're actually going to be doing this on every newsletter. So anybody who is having Bar Citizens, make sure you get plenty of pictures and then get it up on the community spotlight portal hub, wherever that is over there on the RSI website. And they're going to pick one every week for the newsletter, which is pretty exciting. And Berlin, which was featured on there, actually had 35 people show up. It was their very first Bar Citizen. There's been
nice.
couple of Bar Citizens around Germany, but yeah, I was helping Rusty Strider, who I've kind of tweeted back and forth with for a while, and he expressed an interest in organizing the Berlin Bar Citizen, and kind of helped him go through the format template of setting up a venue and putting it on the map, putting on the Spectrum meetup site, having a Discord channel, and just hyping the heck out of it. And yeah, he had 35 people show up to his very first Bar Citizen. It was
awesome.
Pretty good event there. They had
That's a really good turnout.
That's great.
Yeah, that's a great turnout for a first one in a city. So very proud of them, and they're planning on having another one in July, because some people missed it, heard about it after the fact. A lot of people want to go to the next one. So a lot of hype was built there, and CIG liked it. The next link there is Austria. Austria has been going for some time now, and they had, I think, like 40 citizens at theirs. That was a pretty good turnout for them. San Antonio, this was their second Bar Citizen in San Antonio, and they had, I think, 4 people show up to this one. It's a pretty big city, but we're still trying to locate all the local nerds. We actually had three or 4 that were gonna go, but the gal that actually found her on Twitter, she had actually just recently become a Star Citizen, and when I think she followed me, and I saw that she was from just outside of San Antonio, and so I always send back a link to Bar Citizen and where people can find their events, or if I see where they're actually from, then I say, it's like, hey, there's a group right there by you. And so she got into the Texas Discord channel, which is one of the most active ones in the country. And how many guys and gals do you have in the Texas Discord channel there, Danny?
In the Texas, I want to say right now we're sitting about like over 100 at least. I mean, yeah, towards 120. Yeah, we usually have about 50 online at any given time. A lot of CIG, obviously, since we're a studio city here and there a lot too, so that kind of inflates our numbers a little bit, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Over 100 now. And on our website too, we have, I think, 150 people signed up for our monthly newsletter.
Oh wow,
so that's pretty cool. Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah, you guys are actually the very first bar citizen ever, and
Yes.
Michael
Not
Moran kind of
Michael
coined
Moreland, yeah,
Moreland.
coined the term bar citizen. Years before even I was involved, he did the Galactic Inquiry, which was kind of like tied with like Wingman's Hangar and stuff like that. And so that was where the first time it was posted. I think there's actually a picture. I have to find it of him sitting at a bar in Austin with a balloon and no one else at the table, saying the first bar citizen meetup. Because it's such a new
I would
project.
love
So
to see that picture.
yeah, I'll try and find that.
I sent him an invite on Skype. Ken Shadow sent me his Skype, so he has an invitation to come on to one of our podcasts when we can track him down and talk about Bar Citizen and where it came from, and we can drag him back into the community. He was pretty active back there before there ever was a community.
Mm-hmm. He went. He's now does occasionally the same kind of show with related to Descent now. But yeah, so hopefully we can get him back. We can have him come out and kind of see what it's turned into now and kind of show him where everybody's at. It's gonna be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
Definitely be very cool. But yeah, you guys have a full statewide Discord channel, which is what we kind of encourage for all the organizers to have, and then within each state to have sub channels for each major city. Like we started one of the first ones for Florida last year, and so we've got sub channels for Central Florida, Southeast Florida, West Central Florida, Northeast Florida, and everybody in the individual areas is organizing their local meetups, and then we have a semi-annual statewide meetup, which you guys probably need to have one of those in Texas now that you've got a whole bunch of different ones.
Yeah, it's funny. We have Dallas, Houston, Austin. Yeah, and we're right in the middle of all the big cities, so it's a perfect place to do it. So we're actually planning a larger event that should be tied with CitizenCon in Germany this year.
VerseCon.
VerseCon, exactly.
Yay!
Hey.
Good segue into that. But yeah, whenever we find out what dates that CIG has for CitizenCon in Germany, we will be putting together kind of like a day-long convention. Hopefully have some streamers, because there are a lot of streamers moving to Austin too, so we're kind of taking people away from literally everybody else to come to Austin.
At Astropub, didn't he?
Yeah, Astropub is moving down. Miss Hart's just moved down. So hopefully we can get them all down here. And
hey, everybody should move to Austin. It's probably one of the best cities in America.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been considering.
Hey, So that's going to be planned. Rue, you're involved with that, obviously.
Yeah.
And so it's just a few of us. Scuba Steve is helping plan. There's a whole group of us.
Pyro, yeah. If you guys are interested in VerseCon, definitely reach out to us. We'll get you onto the Discord and that sort of thing. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. It all hinges upon the dates, though, for me, unfortunately.
Yeah. Trust us.
Too.
Yeah. Trust us.
Yeah.
We know.
Yep. I'm trying to plan ahead for that a little bit, but I'll be going on a little bit of a trip later on this year, so it's got to coordinate with that a little bit. But I really want to go.
Yeah, I'll be there for sure.
I'm linking actually a YouTube video on the document there.
Yeah, JJ's right. Bear Red just moved that down there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Bear just did. I saw Witch Kitty.
Another fellow.
She went to go visit him down there. So maybe one day Witch Kitty will move down there as well.
I know, right? All these streamers will be in Austin before we know it.
That's the plan. That's what.
Uh-oh.
Could we have made this harder for you for the first one?
All right, we're back.
Hey.
Yay!
Did not like us having videos up. For sure.
Slight technical difficulties.
Yeah, it did not like us running YouTube while we were on the call.
That's
a little weird.
That's okay. All right, so no more YouTube videos for us. That's okay. What else we got? Pictures of the Austin Bar Citizen. We've got 2 of those pictures, and then a picture of at Adelaide, Australia.
All right, let me get those up.
Prepare yourselves.
Prepare yourselves for the greatness of Bar Citizens.
Let's see.
Sorry, I'll type later.
Keyboard clicking.
Keyboard.
Clicky, clicky, clicky.
I'll talk about beer here really quick, if you don't mind. Seems like we are talking about Bar Citizens.
Beer is part of Bar Citizen. What's
an integral piece.
JJ's like, I can't imagine that tasting great. Well, let me tell you, it tastes like a liquid Reese's peanut butter cup. And they put, if I remember this right, they put like 5 gallons of peanut butter in this batch or something.
Whoa.
Of like real peanut butter. And then they added some caramel to add a nice light touch of that, and then along with some chocolate, and then made a porter out of it. So yeah, it's actually pretty thick for a porter. It's like really on the edge of porter to stout almost, but yeah, it's really good. So anyway, that's I love your chat there.
And I am having a Blue Moon cappuccino oatmeal
stout. Sounds even stranger than a peanut butter one.
Is really deliciously smooth. Quite tasty. It's really more like a porter. I'm a big fan of porters. And
yeah, sounds even stranger than the peanut butter one, to be honest. Personally, I have a protein shake beer that I have in the fridge downstairs. I'll have to bring that out. My meal replacement beer.
Okay,
yeah,
that's unique.
Just kidding.
Now, one of the more interesting beers that I've had recently was actually a maple bacon coffee porter, which was stupendously delicious.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah, there's a local brewery down here that makes it, and I think Funky Buddha exports up to Orlando.
We get Funky Buddha up here.
We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
I tried it for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and it was sublime, and it's just so smooth. You could taste the hints of the maple and the bacon and the coffee. It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And no, the names are all correct. I am actually Joe Ron now.
That's
great. Actually, the only one that stayed the same was Scanny. Said Porters. Hey. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, sorry, I changed the wrong layout.
You're totally fine. Cool. And so, what are these pictures from again? Which bar
that looks like the Washington D.C. one, actually.
Oh, sweet! That was great. Captain Richard and Z-Man, I know for sure went. I can't remember who else made it out to that one, but that looked like a fun one.
They had a big grit spitter. They'd all been asking me to try to get a Bar Citizen going out there, and it took forever to find somebody to take point, and then really like all it takes anywhere is just one nerd who he or she just wants to do a little bit of footwork in locating and making sure that there's a good venue for a good group of people, depending on how many they think might show up. Maybe 30 or 40, even if you don't get that. Usually just a restaurant that has a good selection of beer, and he posted it out there, and we put the word out, and I think they probably like 50, 60 people showed up. I mean, they had a pretty good group of people because it's a pretty dense metropolitan area out there, and and everybody hyped it pretty darn good. Yeah,
all you need is one nerd and plenty of beer.
Plenty of beer.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, I'm planning a Portland Bar Citizen early next month, and I mean, I know Portland pretty well, but I'm not actually from Portland. But for me, I did a little bit of research of just finding a bar that was good with groups. I used some looked at some Yelp reviews for that sort of thing. And they actually do have a section on this right-hand side that says, one of the questions like, is this place good for groups? And it'll say yes or no. And if typically when they say yes, it's actually worked out. And one of the people who is in Portland, they actually went there last night and they said it's an amazing bar. It was
awesome.
Like, perfect.
Awesome.
So
very cool.
For the core or one of the other guys?
It was one of the other guys, Zen.
Okay.
Zen went out there. So anyways, so those guys have been great. They kind of do a little bit of legwork for me, but they wanted to go out that night anyway. So I was like, awesome, thanks. And then I'll be up there June 10th is that one.
Yeah, that's I think we're just cycling through a picture of the one of the Austin LAN parties.
Yeah, I was about to say I saw that on the screen pop up.
I've got a Flickr where I'm trying to collect a lot of Bar Citizen pictures from all over the place to just help keep the hype. We're actually redoing here very soon. One of the organizers from Scotland, Leon, he started StarCitizen.events, and he actually went and got a pretty nice software that puts together RSVPs and calendars and that sort of thing. And he wants to kind of have that as a good place where people can post in-game and out-of-game events. It's great. It has the whole RSVP function from Eventbrite, which we've used before. So he and I have been talking about redoing the Bar Citizen website. So we're going to kind of have those two tied together. And
awesome.
So we're going to have a page on there with a whole bunch of pictures of Bar Citizens and information on, little overview on how the basic steps on starting a Bar Citizen. So hopefully here in the next couple of months, I'm hoping by 3.0. Oh, crap. We're going into June and July, and we're expecting that middle of July. We don't have very long. And I expect
it's updated just today too, right?
Yeah, push back to July 5th right now, but I was figuring it. We're probably going to be looking at middle of July because and it's pretty ridiculously huge release there. And actually, Discolando and I have have an unofficial bet. He's probably forgotten about it. We're in Spectrum chat a few weeks back, betting on how many PTU releases that there's going to be, and I bet on U, and he bet on W, I think. So. Yeah, I expect it to probably be the most PTU patches, but it's going to be so amazing. I mean, all the stuff they're showing us is just so exciting. I expect the community to grow tremendously and Bar Citizen to grow as the community grows. We've got 1.8 million accounts, of which a lot of people have multiple accounts. So if you figure maybe 1.3 million citizens right now, I mean, we can go to 5 to 10 million citizens in a few years. The number of Bar Citizens around the world are just going to be crazy. It's going to be ridiculous.
It will. Yeah, it'll be all around the world, which is why, if you don't have one in your town, be that person, because it doesn't take a lot of effort. And
it is super easy.
And even if you don't want to commit to it, at least doing a couple, you might find someone else and be like, hey, look, I don't want to keep doing these, but if someone else is interested in keeping these going, like, please let me know. But get it started if it's not yet in your town. Do it.
Yeah, once the first one gets going, finding a venue is kind of one of the trickiest parts. If you find a good venue, then you can just keep using the same one over and over again. Like I think Porter's going back to one of the ones that we used before for the next one, right? We're
gonna be at Sea Dog again in Orlando.
Okay.
We just had the statewide. And they had a really good patio there, and it was a good location, kind of very central for everybody. So I think we're going to continue using them.
Yeah. Once you find a good location, then anybody can say like, "Hey, let's have a Bar Citizen next month," and we'll just go back to the same place, put it on the map, and especially after if you have a community going in the Discord and people are talking on a regular basis. You just say it's like, hey, everybody, let's get together and have a Bar Citizen, like Sea Dog or wherever. So after the first one or two, it builds up a lot of momentum, and people just want more and more. It's like, hey, when's the next Bar Citizen? When's the next Bar Citizen?
Yeah, they do.
And I found
That's
that
great.
it's as easy as literally just picking a place, picking a date, and putting it up on the schedule, and just say, hey, this is what's happening, and people will show up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really do.
oftentimes here in Austin, we just essentially call up the bar and say, hey, we're going to bring, 20 to 30 people on this day, and, we'll see you then.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much the extent. As soon as you find a bar that's like, yeah, that's fine.
Now, you guys have been doing it for 4 years out there. So,
Yeah.
do y'all typically go to the same venues since
So
you've got proven ones?
since I've been helping organize, we typically stay at the same. What we try and do is we try and move around every few months or every quarter. We try and do a few different places. But usually, if there's no like event going on, like we had DreamHack, we had PAX South, we had South by Southwest, we had. I think we have Rooster Teeth's convention that they have in Austin is coming up. But usually we try and stay at the Flying Saucer because why wouldn't you stay at a bar for Star Citizen Bar Citizens whenever you're at a bar called the Flying Saucer?
Yeah, if you find
so
something
just yeah,
is cool.
So we've been doing that, but we do try and branch out a little bit and try. Once we have kind of built like a relationship with one place, we try something new and in different areas to try and find like the best fits. When we tour the studio, we have a bar that we go to specifically because the first time we went, they made sure we were all taken care of. We had open tabs tonight. They weren't like hassling. They let us take care of it, obviously, but didn't think that we were all trying to dine and dash at that point. So it's all about, building those relationships in whatever area you're at. And, if the first one isn't working out, it's, you just try something new. I wouldn't say there's any lack of places to try and meet up in Austin or in any big metropolitan area. So it's just about finding what places you like and we're in a place that likes you.
Yeah.
But we have a good set of places that we go through before we have to try something new.
Yeah, Blavin's in chat. He's one of my local southeast but Bar Citizens, and we work so close to each other, like 10 minutes away. So we'll meet up for lunch like every couple of weeks, and it's just it's cool to build up local friends that and like, hey, like going to the barbecue place and actually, Kenny, you'll appreciate this because being a Texan in Florida for almost 19 years, no good barbecue in this state. And I finally found a barbecue place about 15 minutes from my office. The guy's from Texas. It's real Texas barbecue. So I literally go there like every other week. My whole office is now addicted to it. They finally realized that Florida barbecue is not really barbecue. Southern barbecue is not really barbecue. Yeah. Only Texas barbecue.
Texas barbecue is true barbecue.
I would agree with that too.
Yep. And so yeah, Blavin and I go to it's a barbecue citizen, and actually one of the other guys came to join us one time too. He Captain blanking. I have been blanking
Captain
constantly.
Fluffy?
I do not get enough sleep here lately, I think.
Hey, no worries.
One of the other guys.
That's actually great to hear. I've been thinking, because I have a couple connections with some of the breweries up in the Portland area and even in my local area. And I was like, what would be fun is if they were really intrigued about beer, that I could probably set up a really cool brewery tour and we could go back and look at the tanks and try some beers that come right out of the conditioning tanks, as they usually do on tours and stuff. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to go to this Portland one that I'm planning. And then from there, I definitely want to try and do some kind of cool brewery tour. Bar Citizens for sure would be fun.
I think a lot of different kinds of Bar Citizens. I've been talking with folks. I think in Denver they're doing bowling alley Bar Citizens, and somebody was doing a museum Bar Citizen out in California. And a Bar Citizen can be anything from a LAN party like you guys in Austin had in Dallas. Actually, Dallas is having one tonight, and one of the guys, he's got a big house, a big backyard, and he throws a barbecue.
Yeah.
And
So nice.
everybody
Wow,
comes
that's
over to
awesome.
his place at his house. The last I think they rotate. Sometimes they do a restaurant. Sometimes they do a barbecue at his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of which, on our actual agenda tonight, Michigan is having their very first bar citizen.
Ooh.
Dallas
Nice.
Fort Worth is having a bar citizen. Seattle is having a bar citizen. London is having a bar citizen. All of those are going on tonight. So I think almost every Saturday, and Saturdays I generally recommend as a good day because and people aren't working, people can travel to it. Depending on how traffic is, it tends to work out pretty well. Friday nights are pretty good too. Like you guys did in Austin. So every weekend there's 3 or 4 bar citizens going on around the world. Now, those are just the ones that I know about and get on the map. And a lot of times, some people they just have regular ones. Like I was talking with the guys in Chicago a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last weekend, and they didn't put it on the map. They didn't tell anybody. They just kind of put a note out in the Discord and said, "It's like, hey, let's have a bar citizen." And I as I troll through my 50 Discords, I noticed
Oh my god.
that they were having a bar citizen. It's like, and it was like Saturday morning. I noticed it. It's like, dude, you guys are having a bar citizen. Did you put it on the map? Did you tell anybody? Did you put it on Spectrum? Because they figure, well, and they've got a pretty good group going in Chicago already. So they put it in the Discord, and they have a few people show up every time they go. But it's important to get the word out so that you can have more people aware of it. Because I think every city has a lot of citizens that don't know that there's other citizens there. And just keeping to get the word out and build the hype so that even new citizens that come that may just join up, like that gal down there in San Antonio. It's like she just become a citizen a few weeks ago. It's like, hey, go to a bar citizen. So unfortunately she had strep throat, but she'll be at the next one. So I think our guy down there, Zevius, he's going to try to have them like every month.
Yeah, well, Zevius has started his up, and we have Traz Ion, who runs the official, like not the official, but like the fan Star Citizen Facebook page. He runs Dallas, and then we have a couple of people. We have the Modern Man and Anchor, who are running Houston. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Did you just say when's the Facebook group or
Traz Ion?
The Facebook group or the page?
The Facebook page. Sorry. I think the notes. It's the page for the group. I think it's
there's a Texas Bar Citizen Facebook page group.
Thing. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. So some countries like the UK has a Facebook page. I think Australia has a Facebook page, especially in some of the European countries that they don't use Twitter that much. And
I know
Facebook a lot.
The Pacific Northwest also has a Facebook page as well. Yeah.
So that's all the ones that are going on right now. Coming up, June 3rd, Oklahoma is having their very first bar citizen. Just helped them put their group together a few weeks ago. Portland, you guys are having is your second bar citizen out there?
There's actually been a couple. I haven't been able to make it to all of them. This is the second one that I've planned in Portland. Unfortunately, the first one I planned, I was super hyped on go. I didn't make it because my work sent me to Seattle and I got stuck there and I was just like, no. And then what was funny is I got back from my Seattle trip and found out that there was a bar citizen in Seattle the night that I was there. And I was like, why did this, what happened? But no, I'm really excited for this one. And that one's coming up June 10th.
And Orlando, Porter, you're having yours June 10th.
Yep.
Actually, Southeast Florida is also having one June 10th. Frankfurt. I am super hyped about Frankfurt. I have been looking for somebody to take point out there, and we finally have. Actually, he's an American living just outside of Frankfurt, Germany. I talked with Brian on Spectrum and Twitter a couple of times about having a bar citizen out there, and he's been real excited. So now we have an official bar citizen on the map scheduled for June 16th in Frankfurt, Germany, and the hype is going crazy. I mean, all the German community is huge. We've got a lot of Germans in in Spectrum that I've been talking to, and on Twitter, and on the Discords. And they just started their Germany Discord channel. So I think the German community is about to really ramp up. They actually have had some really great events. Last year, one of our first organizers, Samila, he's actually from Switzerland, and he planned SitCon DE in Frankfurt, and they had 500 people show up. It was
Wow.
biggest event ever. He actually sold tickets. He rented out a convention hall, and he actually had a whole bunch of different gear companies come in and rent booths. They had a developer panel. They had I don't think Brian was actually on the developer panel, but they had 4 or 5 devs. They had a couple of different panels, and 500 people showed up to that one. So that was huge. He's not doing the one this year because CitizenCon is going to be in Frankfurt, and GamesCon is going to be in Cologne. But yeah, and just a lot of citizens in Germany, and so we're helping to get them all hyped up. And then Glasgow is the second Scotland Bar Citizen is planned for June 17th, and then JJ has Melbourne planned for June 17th also. JJ's yeah, JJ was saying he organized a Brisbane Bar Citizen, but and he had a flight booked and ready to go, but he didn't make his flight, so he didn't get to make his Brisbane. He's actually flying around Australia to his Bar Citizens. I mean, he is such a super hyped, motivated organizer. Very, very proud of what he's doing out there. And he just had Adelaide, and hopefully he's okay with me mentioning it. But since it is in Sandy's hometown, and it was around her and Chris's birthday, Sandy actually recorded a video, and Chris, for their Bar Citizen that they got to play at their event, which was pretty darn cool.
That's awesome.
I think they were pretty hyped. And Melbourne, Glasgow, that's all of the upcoming ones in the immediate future. Got a few out in July and August, and every week keep checking back on barcitizen.sc, and usually another 4 or 5 or a half dozen are posted there. Plus also with I've been talking with Cameron quite a bit here lately. He is CIG's official events coordinator, and he really wants to promote the Bar Citizen community movement here a lot more. So that's why it got pretty nice mention there in the newsletter. So very exciting Bar Citizen news going on.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Rudy, you want to talk about your exciting Bar Citizen plans for VerseCon?
VerseCon, sure. We have a lot of, again, we're still waiting on a date, so depending on when that's going to be, it kind of changes a little bit of our plans. But VerseCon is definitely going to be something where we will be renting out a hall. Where our idea and our thought behind the whole thing was that there's a lot of people that aren't able to make that trip over to, Germany. And the ones that do go and experience that. But I know, for me personally, financially, I just wouldn't be able to get over there. So there's a couple of us that joined together, Z-Man, Scuba Steve, Ganny, Pyro, Scrap. There's a number of us that were like, it would just be great to do something like how we had it in LA for the last CitizenCon. And so we came together and created VerseCon, which is going to be, we'll try and, hopefully the time zones work out, but it'll be like a live viewing party of the CitizenCon happening in Germany. We'll locally have some streamers who will do some live streaming, hopefully some vendors, that sort of thing. But if anything, it's definitely going to be a large viewing party for CitizenCon happening in Germany, which I think is great. And I think it'll bring a lot of people together. We'll do probably a larger Bar Citizen, as you would call them, at a bar, and people can get together and come down and hang out. So yeah, that's kind of the plans. It's just a little all up in the air right now, because as soon as we hear dates, then we can plan more.
You can pick where and when it's going to be. It's going to be great.
Sometime in October, right?
Yeah,
sometime in October.
When you see the date for VerseCon, we're planning to be that same day. And as far as when the stream's supposed to start, so good hope that it's going to be a normal time for us over here in the States.
Yeah, that's some like crazy hour, like 2 a.m. Everyone wake up, let's go. Like, what? No.
They did it. What it was like 3 or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last year.
Yeah, I think so basing off of that, I think it's going to be around 2 p.m. Central Time. So not a bad time to have a streaming event.
Yeah, it'll be won't be too bad for Europe. I think that's why they do it kind of earlier on, so the Europeans can get on late in the evening and still be able to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last year it didn't start till like 3:30 or 4 by the time it actually started.
Was it that? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it was in LA, which is actually West Coast. So it was it was kind of it was later.
Almost midnight for the Europeans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had that last minute delay, like an hour or so.
It did. Yeah, it got delayed about an hour and a half. Yeah. So, but it still was, I mean, obviously awesome. And I'm sure a lot of people still stayed up to watch it for sure. But yeah, it's okay. We'll be there. We're going to, no matter what time it's at,
we'll figure something out. We'll all be there.
We'll be there.
Yeah, I don't know if I can make it, but I'm gonna try. I hope I can. That would be a very cool event, because I have not been to any Bar Citizens outside of Orlando and Southeast Florida. As many as I have helped organize around the world, I have not actually attended. Unlike JJ, who it's like he organizes them all over Australia and then flies to them.
Wow, that's awesome.
Rue, haven't you been up to Bar Citizens outside your state more than inside of your state, if I recall correctly?
Actually, we were just discussing this. I've been down to ones in LA. I've been to like a couple in Texas, and the one that I was trying to make it in Oregon, I missed because I was in Seattle, and I was just like, what is going on? So yeah, it's weird. I've been to actually 4 or 5 outside of my state, but never one inside my state.
You both were at PAX. Both of y'all were at PAX. That looked like a really cool Bar Citizen.
That was super cool.
A great event.
And exciting because because I used Eventbrite, which is a good tool for people who want to organize events. But because of that, as I'm going through the convention that day, the numbers go up from I think like 70 or 80 to like 120, 130. And like the span of a few hours, just keep getting notifications and ticket numbers. I'm like,
that's pretty cool.
So yeah, I better call them again and just make sure that they're still okay with us showing up.
Crashing their bar.
Yeah, exactly. So
I have a funny story with that one. I traveled with Nax, and we went down there and we were like standing up top, and I guess this bar is like kind of like down below, like ground floor. And so we were on the side street, and we like had our maps on. We're like, we can't find this place. And so we were like texting people. They're like, oh no, it's over here. And so we like walked like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 blocks down. And then they're like, no, it's over here. And we're like, what? So then we like walked down again, and it literally ended up being like right where we were like standing there looking for directions. And I actually even looked down and was like, oh, that looks like a cool bar. Like, oh, it was ridiculous. Like an hour later, we found the bar that we were supposed to be at.
Well, and I was giving directions to all these people. I'm like, oh, where is it? And I was like, oh, well, you go to this, like if you go along the river and then you go over this, like through this intersection, and it's like, it was literally across the street from the Alamo. And I just didn't know it until I left that night. Like, go to the front door of the Alamo, turn around and walk down the stairs.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Exactly.
So it was just,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so next year it will be a little bit more organized. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was kind of funny. That big. I don't know why. It's like I looked down, I guess I just didn't recognize anyone, because by the time I got there, I was like, well, I know you. Like, how come I didn't see you guys?
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. But we found it. It was an awesome time. It was like a German bar, which was pretty cool. So they had a lot of like imported beers on tap, along with a little selection of local brews from Texas. One of them being that I remembered, it's like some blood orange Hefeweizen or something. It was really good.
Yeah, it's nice, and that's pretty much the main concern that we always have whenever we do bars is we got to make sure that there's craft beer there, because the last thing I think a lot of our guys want to spend any money on is not to hate on it, but cheap
all
beer.
The craft beer.
Yeah, they want all the craft beer, everything they can get.
Yes.
We just got a 10-minute warning on Zoom. I guess we need to set a longer timer on the conference calls. Do you guys want to take a quick break and come back and talk some more Bar Citizen, or do you guys want to wrap up? We were kind of planning on an hour, and I think we had a pretty.
Yeah, we're about 15 minutes.
Pretty
15 minutes below that at the moment. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good to chat.
Yeah,
honestly,
I'm not really doing that. I'm just hanging out. So yeah,
exactly. Have a beer.
Chatting.
And I just got another beer, so
yeah, me too. I'm still working
I need to
on
grab
mine.
one myself.
All right,
grab a new
take
beer.
a quick
and
break,
we'll be back.
and we'll get a new video link.
All right, we'll be back.
Okay, sure. All right, we'll be right back. True.
And we're live again. We're back.
Okay.
Hello again.
Oh, hello again.
Cheers.
So we're all and
cheers.
and Porter has a beer. Cheers, my friends.
Hey.
And happy birthday to Ganny.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. I share the birthday with our glorious leader, so I win the true lottery.
It is the true.
See, I just need to start a tradition where we exchange gifts, and then I'll just give him something. He'll give me a ship, right? That's how that'll work.
Yeah, definitely get that started soon.
And Chris,
birthday cake hanger flare.
Yeah, right. Well,
but before we came back on, we were just talking about sometimes in some cities there'll be a couple of different organizers who want to put on events, and they may not know about each other. They may kind of sometimes be working at kind of cross purposes. Actually, Dallas actually had two different people wanted to put on events separately, and I hooked them up together, and now they work great as a team.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we found both of them. They were right at the same time, so it was kind of uncanny.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of stuff. After I had my big event, and CIG was hyping the crap out of Bar Citizen on ATV for weeks and weeks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people came out all over the place, and we started the organizers Discord, and people were coming out all over the place wanting to start Bar Citizens, and we had two guys in Dallas that wanted to start them up, so I hooked them up, and now that they're both working together as a team, and like Dallas is going pretty darn strong. Candace, who's in chat now, she just organized a Toronto Bar Citizen, but Toronto's actually had an organizer for 2 years. They've been going on for quite some time, and the previous organizer Orochi, his schedule is a little bit challenging, so he'd been having him during the week, and she wanted to have one on the weekend, on a Saturday in a little different location. She had kind of a different idea of how people might get there, and she ended up having 16 or 17 people show up to her, so it's probably 2 or 3 times more than the regular size group. So that actually worked well. And initially there was a little bit of friction between them because he'd been doing them, and he thought he was doing a pretty good job, and she wanted to try something different. So she kind of backed off for a little bit, and then she got all hyped up after we had ours. When Porter and I had the one in Orlando a few weeks ago, and one of our guys, Dr. Drones, was streaming it live, and Candace was there, and she was watching the event. She got all super hyped up, and she just went super hype on Toronto and started. Posted her event and hopped in their Discord and said, "Hey, let's do an event." And she got together with a couple of other nerds up there, and they picked a different venue and hyped it up, and I helped her put it all over the place. And so then she ended up meeting Orochi, and now they get along great. So so they're both going to be planning events together up there. And Portland had a kind of a little different experience out there with someone who kind of wanted to self-promote for personal gain, which really is kind of frowned upon. So y'all did a bunch of research and kind of realized that he's not really
not the best dude. So
exactly. So we're as Bar Citizen .sc, we're not going to post his event because he's primarily self-serving, and CIG isn't really going to be associated with him. Rue's on the map, and she's the organizer out there, and with For the Core and the Xenitos, who's in chat as well.
Mm-hmm.
So. Portland is rolling, and we've
Portland actually the Pacific Northwest has the Discord that we have almost has 80 people in there now.
Yeah, y'all have a lot of people out there.
So we do actually have quite a bit. So I'm definitely trying to get them going, and I did one in October, like I mentioned, and I just kind of held off during the wintertime because it's really hard for me to get over the pass. We get a lot of snow, and especially this year. So anyways, now that's all cleared up, I'm definitely going to try and do something like at least every other month or something, and I'll definitely take trips to Portland to make them happen. And I'll probably do a couple here at my own hometown because I actually know about 5 or 6 people here that play Star Citizen within probably 20 or 25 miles from me. So yeah.
Cool. Well, you should just have some small local ones, just y'all.
For sure.
We do that down here in Southeast Florida, and like every month we have a little bar citizen. Sometimes there's 5 or 6 or 10 people, depending on when it is. And in anytime nerds can get together and talk spaceships and drink beer, and even if there's 2 or 3 people, it's a good bar. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's actually funny. I was talking with Pyro last night when we were coming back from our bar citizen from last night, obviously. And it's funny that towards the end of the night, when there's only like maybe 3 or 4 people left, is when you can really have some like really hype-inducing conversations about like new stuff in Star Citizen.
Yeah, and
so it's funny because you always aim for as many people as possible, but then at the end of the night, it's like you got like 4 of you there, and you're talking about logging off mechanics and stuff like that. Just get super hyped.
I almost like the smaller events better. The really big events are amazing and super hypey, and so much fun, and they're impressive, and yeah, there's a whole lot of people, but you don't really get a chance to really have good serious conversations about spaceships and game mechanics and what's going on with the game, and just having a really good one-on-one conversation with people. And I like some of the smaller events. I think they're a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think like all the events that we've had in Orlando, aside for the statewides, have been pretty small groups, maybe 6 to, I think our biggest group was maybe 10, 12 people. That was 2 months ago. And we're trying to do them monthly here, and that also helps with keeping that size small. So whoever didn't make the last one, they'll just come out to the next one, and we try to do them as often as we can.
I got a little. I froze up there. Yeah, I mean a lot of people see the really big events and they want to throw something really big, but even if you are in a smaller town, smaller area, and there's just 3 or 4 or 5 other nerds, they're people that are just like us that you didn't know in your town, and that's what's really inspired me so much about Star Citizen is that I haven't really had any nerdy friends. I haven't been part of gaming communities, and for the past 20 years, I haven't really had, really cool friends I could talk to about nerdy things. And now all of a sudden I do. And even just having a few people, like meeting up with Blevin for lunch, it's like meet up and can't stop talking about spaceships. And
exactly,
which is great.
Yeah,
the latest ATV.
Yeah, one of the other Central Florida guys, Innovus. I haven't seen him in chat. I think he's at MegaCon right now. Yeah, he's over at MegaCon in Orlando, and I actually just met up with him earlier today, and we were hanging out at MegaCon, and we were just chit chatting Star Citizen the whole time. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is great. I think it's a great community. So even reaching out to a local community, even when it is like 4 or 5 people that you might know, it's just great to just hang out and get to know those people. They're actually really nice. A lot of them.
Nerds.
They're all just crazy about spaceships, and you can just talk about that for hours, which is great.
And yeah, it's amazing how long we can talk about spaceships. We started at what, 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock last time,
3:30, 4 o'clock, and I left around 11:30 or something, and you guys were there till 2 a.m.
Oh yeah,
my gosh,
we were at Player One till 2 a.m. We closed down Player One, and then no, it was 12. It was midnight, and then we went over to we actually walked over to the ale house. Like a group of 8 of us. We were all we were all 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh my gosh!
We walked about a quarter mile down to the ale house.
That's so great.
Yeah. And then we closed the ale house down too.
Yeah, we started it at around 4 o'clock with eventually we had 35 people or so. I think 4 of them were in town from Michigan for the Star Wars convention, and they saw our events. They came to hang out with us. So we were there from 4 o'clock until 9 o'clock at the Sea Dog Brewing Company on the patio. I mean, the whole group of us, and we finally realized, okay, well, we probably need to let them have their patio back. and somehow we only had one poor waitress, and she was taking care of our whole table. And I didn't even realize she had tables inside. I mean, I felt
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my
bad for her,
gosh.
but she did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally left at 9, and Porter had found that right across the parking lot was a Player One gaming bar. So it was amazing, and they had all these old arcade video games and this cool bar, and then all the bartenders and everybody were in like cosplay stuff.
What?
Oh, wow. Nice.
Cool
Yeah,
outfits.
they were doing like a Sith cosplay that night.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
it was very cool, and so we were there from 9 until 11 or 12, and so we still had like
There were
12,
like 12 of
15
us there, yeah.
people. Yeah, like 12 or 15 people there until close to midnight, and then you guys had 8 people until 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And wait, I don't
Jeez.
know that any of us really even played the video games when we went over to Player One. And we went over there and we said, "Oh, this is so cool!" And so I want to play. I played one video game
Yep.
briefly, and most of the time we were just talking about spaceships the whole
Yeah,
time.
it was just the atmosphere. It was a really awesome place
Yeah,
to go have a few
it
drinks
was.
and talk.
Yeah, and actually, Candace had a similar place where she threw her event, where they had video games and console games and stuff like that. These things are starting up all over the place. I mean, it's almost looking like almost every major city is getting one of these gaming bars. And Southeast Florida has one now, and actually, I think the guys in Tennessee just started a Bar Citizen Discord, and I think they found a gaming bar that they're going to have their event in too. So
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Those are always cool to find.
if they're not too loud, they tend to be a little bit loud and not have food. So it's pretty good. But yeah, so it's Ganny's birthday and his twin brother. So also his birthday as well.
Yeah.
No way. Funny how that works.
Believe it or not. Yeah.
So we should probably let Ganny get on. And I'm glad you guys could come on with us for our very first inaugural official Bar Citizen podcast. This was
Yeah. Thanks so much for
Yeah, thank
having
a
you
us.
lot of fun
for having us.
I like this.
Thank you,
I like this
Joran.
format.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Porter, for
And
putting
Porter
all this
for
together.
putting.
Yeah.
You're the tech guy. I'm just a hype guy.
Just the hype guy.
I'm just
the
a
hype guy.
Well, guys, yeah, it was great, and yeah, thank you for the invite. And we should definitely keep doing these more often. And for those of you that are interested in like getting into Bar Citizens or planning one, reach out to any of us. We will get you all connected and in the Discords.
We have a International Bar Citizen Organizers Discord. So hop on there. There's a link to it from barcitizen.sc, and we'll walk you through setting up a Bar Citizen or point you in the direction of your local Bar Citizens, which there are many.
Yeah,
there are lots and lots.
More than you think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Well, thanks, Ganny. Thanks, Rue. Thanks, Porter.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
This was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Until next time.